Oh yes, the Philippines, a true bastion of democracy and liberty, or let's ignore that. So here we are in the Philippines, and as you can see, we are holding the flag high for the democratic nations of Asia. So the game plan for today is gonna be simple. We're gonna be playing as the Philippines, who are, by the way, a protectorate of the United States, and we are going to be holding on against Mr. There he is, Mr. Hirohito. We know that he's gonna be coming for us sooner or later. And as you can know, historically, things didn't go all that well for the Philippines. But we are here to change that. We are going to be holding on and not capitulating. So it's going to be a challenge run when we are going to be playing as the Philippines, and we are also going to be going historical route. I am playing in the Road to 56 mod, which gives Philippines a focus tree. We have one way to become independent, fascist or communist, but this time we're going to be going on the historic route, follow the American way. And basically we're going to be trying to hold on and maybe become independent. We could do this, move towards independence, or just maintain the status quo. But the number one thing is to stay in the Allies, stay as a democracy, stay with the United States. We do want to become independent, but not by force. And number one thing, we do not want to capitulate. No matter what, Mr. Manuel Luis Quezon will stand tall. We're going to start by going through our starting situation. So, like I said, we have Manuel Luis Quezon leading us, and he's going to give us plus 10 PP. We have this unstable state, which is going to reduce our stability and PP gain, and minus 10%, 0.10% weekly stability gain, which is not good. But we do have the Philippine Independence Act, which is going to be giving us a little bit of autonomy. But we also do have ideological revolutionaries, which is going to reduce our democracy support and our recruitable pop. Speaking of, our starting population is not that great. We have around 15 million. Could be better, could be worse. And let's go through our resources. We have a little bit of chromium, actually quite a lot. Just a tiny bit of steel and one piece of rubber. So it's not that great. And our factories, we have 9 factories, 7 cities, 1 mill, 1 naval dockyard, and 4 divisions, none of which are fully equipped. So I'm gonna start with building some infrastructure in the states in which I have resources, just to get a little bit of extra steel. Nobody's gonna trade for a chromium soon enough, but that's fine. Maybe later on they will. And I'm producing only guns for the time being. Well, I only have 1 mill and a little bit of convoys. And the game plan here, it's gonna be a longer game because the buildup is gonna be longer as well. I want to fortify the island just a little bit, maybe get some naval bombers and some cheap subs. Speaking of no navy, get some subs as well and strong divisions. And there's one special thing that I can do, because most of the Philippines is jungle there. Luzon is jungle, I believe. Yeah, Mindanao is jungle. Few plains tiles, but a lot of jungle. And Road to 56 actually has this special division type, which is the jungle infantry. And I don't use this that often, but since we're gonna be fighting in the jungles for quite a lot, I think that's gonna be a perfect opportunity to try out the jungle infantry. So that's gonna be the game plan, and so we're gonna be building up our nation, get some divisions, get some infantry equipment, and build up our economy as well, because in 1941 we know who's coming for us, and we do not want to capitulate under any circumstances. If we do, it's a game over. So I'll stop by later and see what's going on. So I'll give a few updates as we go, but until the war starts, we're just going to be building up. Oh, and thank God, as we're going to do the first focus, reorganize the government, we're going to be losing our unstable state in favor of stabilized state, thank God. And then we're going to be going down the American way. And once we come here, we're going to make a choice. Either move towards independence or maintain the status quo. We'll see when we come to it. So, it just turned 1937, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an update. So, we just got this amazing national spirit, Agricultural Tenancy Act, which is going to give us essentially unlimited STAP, because we're going to get weekly STAP 0.1% every single week. So we don't have to worry about STAP for the rest of the game. Another thing, we have this amazing Chief of the Army. He goes 200 PP, but he gives us 0.4 Army XP gain daily and 12 percent division org. This is huge. This is really gonna help us when Japan is coming and knocking down our door. So basically I haven't really done anything else except go down the political tree, and I'm probably gonna be touching our army and our industry a little bit later. But first of all, I want to get all the PP and everything I can. Now it's time to choose our doctrine. And the thing is, about Road to 56, there's an additional fifth doctrine called the asymmetrical warfare doctrine. And basically what this doctrine does is it's going to give you a lot of bonuses if you're like a smaller country for defense and supply and defense on core territory, equipment capture ratio. And this is actually a pretty good doctrine if you're playing a smaller country or a minor who is going up against a big country. So there's a few examples that are good. It's like the Philippines and Finland, or maybe the lowlands, because you don't get a lot of factories and you're going to be able to capture a lot of equipment from the enemy. And you get some bonuses for defending on your core territory and for supply, because the supply here is generally not that good, to be honest. And we also get this advisor who gives us some cheaper doctrines for asymmetrical warfare. Alright, I'm gonna reveal to you, I'm actually doing this blind. I have never played the Philippines before, and I really didn't go through the focus tree or the advisors or anything like that. So I just figured, you know, the Philippines, usually when you play any other country, you always see them cap. They're a pretty weak country who can't really do much. But as I've played with them, holy shit, they are pretty OP. Like, first of all, I get 0.5 daily army XP because I get the 0.4 guy and relief of command. Then we have this advisor called Rafael Palma, who gives us 10% research speed. This is amazing, and accept refugees for some manpower. There's like so much going on. And look at the PP, how much we're getting. 1.78 per day. This is really huge, and you can become pretty powerful. I mean, our industry is lagging behind for sure, but when it comes to everything else, Philippines, wow, the new OP miner of Asia. Be sure to try Philippines out, and it's not even wartime yet, but things are looking really good for the Filipinos. Alright, it is mid-1938, and we have come down to a crossroads. I've done every single one of the political focuses, apart from choosing between the status quo or independence. I did a few of the industrial focuses as well. I beelined to get a research slot, so now I have 5 research slots. So juicy. And I actually might be able to finish my my doctrine before the war starts, which is going to be huge. And I've done a lot of thinking. Do I want to maintain the status quo or go independent? And I think we are going independent, baby, because we're going to be able to do this focus, the Pan-Malayan Confederation. From what I'm seeing, it should make British Malaya and Dutch East Indies become democratic and join our faction. But like I said, I want to stick with the Americans, so if we do get this event and we get the faction, we're going to be dismantling it and joining the Allies, because that's how it was always meant to be. I've been doing basic research with some industry, gonna get some oil as well, because we're gonna be building up a little bit of a navy and some planes as well. And I also designed our jungle guys, so they're gonna be 30 width, because in the jungle the combat width is 60, so I believe 30 combat width is gonna be the best for the jungle. I'm gonna be adding some AA and maybe even logistics companies to make this a little bit better, but this is what we're gonna be rolling with. I'm gonna be pumping these guys out and try to get as many of them as I can before the war starts. It is late August 1939, and here's an update. Something might happen here. I just get this small inkling of a feeling that something might happen. But you know what? We are Asia and we do not care about Europe. Fuck Europe. We gotta love Asia instead. And thanks to our Philippine Independence Act, we've been getting +1 daily autonomy gain. And as you can see, just a few more days and something incredible is gonna happen. We are gonna become independent, baby! Independent Philippines. Here we are, free from oppression, and we did not change color. I hope we do soon enough. But right now, since we became independent, we can do Pan-Malayan Confederation. I might actually wait a little bit to see what happens if they go to war. If they go to war, both the Dutch and the UK, they might be more inclined to accept, because right now they're at peace, both of them. So before we do anything, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna chill around, maybe do some other focuses instead, work on our industry a little bit. And I've been pumping out a lot of divisions. Right now we have, to be honest, 8 is not a lot, but it's better than nothing. And I'm also been pumping out these cheap submarines. I'm gonna make them up to 1940, and hopefully whenever the Japanese come knocking, we're gonna be able to raid them to hell and beyond, because we are independent and we are ready for war. Well, almost. It is March 1940 and Germany has finally attacked the lowlands, which means I have tried to get the Pan-Malayan Confederation. I have improved relations with the British as well as the Dutch, and I'm really hoping they say yes. Let's see. Oh, yes, they both said yes. Oh yeah, they have agreed to withdraw their forces from the Middle East. Oh yes, baby. So what happened? Oh, they just became independent and nothing else? I mean, they're probably gonna join the Allies. Yep, there goes Malaya, and there go the Dutch East Indies. Well, I thought I might be able to get them as puppets, but that doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. Well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, let's just say that we drew out the colonialists. We're anti-colonialist power, and we shall set the entirety of Asia free. We want to make Indochina free and India free, everyone free from oppression. I'm just thinking if we did this before the war, they probably would have said no. But if that happened, I mean, I could just get them in our faction. But like I said, we want to be part of the Allies. So, what does this mean? Mafilindo. If someone speaks Filipino, just tell me whatever this means. But you know what? It was fun while it lasted. Technically, I think we could just join the Allies, maybe. Yeah, we could. But I'm gonna roleplay this game, so I will only join the war once Japan attacks us. And meanwhile, I will just keep building up our nation, building up our industry and armed forces, and get ready once Nippon strikes. So, it's May 1941, so let's do an update on what's going on. In Europe, it's pretty much the basic. I mean, their Axis are invading Yugoslavia, they're struggling in Greece. In Africa, Italy is doing surprisingly good here around Ethiopia and around Egypt. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's pretty standard game, as you can see. Japan here in China doing getting an encirclement of 7 divisions, and something else up here around. Maybe you can see it, maybe not. Maybe it's right here. The Empire of Japan is justifying against us. It is time for no more beating around the bush. It is time to go. We have to be ready for war. We have 20 divisions. They are all pretty good. I mean, I have more incoming, and you can see the stats. 237 soft attack, really, really good. A little bit of a navy, 12 subs, and I believe I do have some fighters. Just a little bit, a few naval bombers, and a little bit of a CAS. If they manage to invade us, we can hopefully cast them to death, because they hopefully can't reach us from Taiwan. I mean, they don't seem to have a airport over there, which is good, of course. We'll see. But it's time to really see what we are made of. All this preparation of 5 years has led up to this point, and now we'll see if the Philippines can survive.
It is 6 a.m. on the 24th of July, 1941. President Manuel Luis Quezon just received a telegram from Japan. The telegram stated that due to current political situation, the Empire of Japan has no other choice but to declare war on the Philippines.
I know, I try to be dramatic, but I just can't do it. I can't really do it like Colonel Cam does. But I tried my best, so here we go. It is time for war, and Japan has declared on us. I have my submarines out here. I have my naval bombers out here, maybe bombing a little bit. Oh, I probably should send them over here instead. I don't know. And we'll see what Japan does. I'm gonna slow the game down and wait for some naval invasions. I'm really scared for Palawan because I have only one division there. I probably should have sent another one. Also, there's only one here in this port in Mindanao. We'll see what happens. But I have my 12 guys here ready for action whenever they come. And here we go, immediate naval invasion. We're getting some lend-lease from the Americans. I'm gonna say yes, and I am running out of oil immediately. So I'm gonna take half of these guys, send them over here, and maybe fight off the next. Oh no, why are you? They are abandoning the port there. Oh my god, there's so much going on. Oh no, 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 no. What are you doing? I hate when the AI does this. Come on. Please go back. Please, 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 please. I am going to send these guys over here. Here we go. And please just railroad them. Get there as quickly as we can. I don't have enough convoys, unfortunately. I do have enough for you. Ireland, yes. And no more, unfortunately. Oh, another one. They're doing another one. Holy shit, they are really coming in. And it's just a matter of time before they take Apari. And the thing is, because since we're independent and we are not in a faction, we are all alone. There's no one else here except us against the Japanese might. Oh my god, they're really pushing in. They thankfully only have 2 divisions there, which is not the end of the world. I have no idea why we can't really hold on here. I think it's because of the strategic. I think it's because of the railroading, because they lost all their org and things are not looking good. There's a Japanese fucking tank out here. What the hell? Oh no, it's not looking good. We do have 1 division we can deploy. Let's just get him out over here. Just put him there and wait until they get some org. Oh, they're really coming in hot, but it's not the end of the world. It's not that bad. Just get this one guy over here. While this guy is pinning this Japanese division here in Apari, and we are actually winning all of the battles here. Like, we had some issues in Batangas, but thankfully we seem to be holding on. Let's go up to speed 2. Oh, look at that. We are encircling the Japanese here. And you guys, oh, no, no, no. Pin those guys, maybe. Oh, yes. So I'm gonna grab all of these guys, all 12 of you, actually just half of you maybe, and send you over here, and you as well. And even if they send a few divisions there, I think we are gonna be able to hold off the Japanese and just push them from the north. And once again, railroad, get there as quickly as you can. So just to mention, these guys are on area defense, only on naval bases. I'm hoping that's the best. I could have just done a few of fallback lines, but you know what, that's really annoying to manage. There's some naval battles going on and we're probably, yep, we are losing our subs and convoys. I probably have to stop trading altogether, which is not good at all. And I do want to go for total mobilization and women in the workforce and extensive conscription. Here we go. We are totally ready for war, and we have 4 Japanese divisions here, and we can probably just push them out, maybe just battle plan, it doesn't really matter. You guys support attack, just push there, and as you can see, we are causing just a little bit of cast damage, which is helping a lot. I mean, imagine if we had to fight under red air. The Japanese do have a naval base over here, which is obviously not the greatest thing, but they can't seem to reach us. That's awesome. And look at that. They are encircled, just like that. We have killed, like, was it 4 or 5 divisions? We have killed a lot in a short period of time. So their initial offensive push was a failure. How many casualties? Around 100k, and we only lost 6k. Alright, this is great. So what we're gonna be doing now is just holding on until the Japanese attack. Well, it's not the Dutch East Indies, it's Indonesia. So we're gonna wait until Japan attacks Indonesia and Malaysia, and when that happens, that's when we're gonna join the Allies. I think I could join manually if I wanted to. Oh, I actually can't. Wow. Well, that's fine. And it's funny because right now the US is at peace, even though we are at war. So obviously it's gonna be a struggle. We're gonna lose. Yep, we're gonna lose our subs. I mean, that's fine. I was kind of hoping I could maybe pull something off. These are, yeah, oceans. I mean, there's really not much you can do against the Japanese Navy, so it's unfortunate. And we're actually going to be able to get our 6th research slot, which is huge because we already have plus 40 research speed. So, you know what? When you're playing the Philippines, you're going to get a lot of research done, which is awesome. But I think because the Japanese failed their initial push, they're probably going to hold off a little bit. I want to see. No, we can't join the Chinese right at front. That's fine though. And we still have a little bit of fuel left. I hope we don't lose it all. But you know what? The initial push seemed kind of difficult, but for the time being, we're looking great. And I forgot to mention, we have finished our doctrines ages ago, and we have so much excess army XP. So there's really no issue going on here. So come on, Mr. Hideki Tojo and Hirohito, bring it on. I don't think you can do much because the Filipinos, they are standing strong. Alright, it's been a few months and nothing has really happened. I mean, they did a few small naval invasions. We killed a little bit more of them. Not much though, just a couple of like 20k or something. I sent a few troops here to Palawan because I was sort of afraid they might invade here. They did one naval invasion, but our jungle guy, they really held on. I mean, these are very OP here in the jungle. I mean, well, this is a desert, but a lot of these places are jungles, and that's why we're really pushing them out of here super easily. So I'm really glad I went for the jungle infantry. It seems to be very effective, and maybe later on, once we join the allies, we're gonna be able to maybe push here in Siam, because it's a lot of jungle as well. And maybe some jungle here too, I don't know, not really, but some jungle here where we can push, and maybe we can help protect the Indonesians as well, because a lot of jungle here too. So if you're gonna play one of these nations, like jungle infantry might be really beneficial for you. Oh, and on the side note, what is going on here in Finland? Why don't we have the Moscow armistice? I mean, oh my god, this is crazy. Can I see how? I mean, they're not even that close to capping. I mean, imagine historically if the Finns still try to hold on at this point. Maybe just sign the armistice. And we finally got what the doctor ordered. The Japanese declared war on Indonesia and Malaysia. And this is gonna mean that just in a matter of time, we're gonna get some naval invasions. Well, of course, but probably an invitation to the allies. I actually want them to invite us. I don't want to join myself. I just realized, by the way, that the Americans are probably not even going to join the war. I thought this game is going to be a cakewalk because it seemed really easy in the beginning, but now I just realized the Americans, they are going to be staying neutral. I mean, sure, it's going to be a challenge to especially invade the Japanese because there's really no one else here apart from us. Maybe the Australians can help, but none of the countries here are really true powerhouses. It's crazy because, you know, historically how Japan declared war on the Americans, it was in Pearl Harbor here in Hawaii, but I guess they just don't get a war goal on the Americans. Is it really the case? Because that's sort of crazy. I mean, you can see the war goals. It's like it's just a war goal on the Philippines, and then a war goal on the Indonesians and the Malaysians, and no one else. This is crazy. Yeah. So we'll see what happens in World War II if America stayed neutral. So this is going to be a little bit of an old history sort of video. So we'll see. This is going to be a challenge. So please stay tuned. And here we go, Mr. Churchill has just invited us to the Allies. So here we go. The Philippines are part of the Allies. And it's gonna be fun because, you know, it's gonna be like an independent Southeast Asia fighting against the Japanese threat. I mean, India is still under the British control, but every other country, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, all of them are independent. So the end of colonialism came to Southeast Asia a little bit sooner in this timeline. Here we go. I wonder if the British are gonna be able to send their navy over here. It's gonna be really problematic because they're probably gonna be, that's what I want to see. Well, they're probably gonna be keeping their navy here in the Med. As you can see, a lot of navies over here and maybe in the Channel as well. But I really doubt they're gonna send their navy all the way here to the Philippines because it's so far away in the end. But now that we're in the Allies, I could send my troops over here to Siam. I probably actually want to do that. I don't know, do I have enough divisions here to hold the islands? Like, I just don't want to lose any of the islands. And it's gonna be difficult because, yeah, there's so many Japanese ships over here, and none of them are friendly, so we might get raided if we send any of our divisions over here. Oh, by the way, the Americans just guaranteed the Dutch, but I think it's a little bit too late because it's not really gonna make a difference here at all. So now we're gonna see how good the jungle infantry really are, because I sent my guys here to Malaysia and try to push towards Siam. I really love to cap them. It would be huge. I mean, the supply here is gonna suck, but thanks to our doctrine, it shouldn't matter all that much. So let's see. Oh, look at us just pushing them out because there's so much jungle over here. I mean, it's gonna be pretty easy here in the south because there's so much jungle, but maybe later on it's gonna get more difficult. Meanwhile, the Japanese, yeah, they usually just send like one division and we can really easily get rid of them. So we should be fine with just 10 divisions here. They're gonna be shuffling around all the time, which is annoying, but I think as long as I don't lose any divisions, we are gonna be fine. But here we go, these guys are, yeah, right now we're running into a little bit of trouble, but they have a lot of attrition and we have none, so we should be able to push them out. But these are mountain tiles and some hills, so it's gonna be difficult, but I believe in you guys. Alright, so I might have just laughed too soon, because as you can see, the Japanese have managed to take a port here in the north. They have taken a Pari. And that's not good. And the only thing I have here is there's a few divisions with no strength whatsoever, and I'm having a lot of issues here with my stockpiles. So my guys from Siam, I need you back because I sort of stalled over here and couldn't really push anymore. It was a good push though, but there's a lot of hills and mountains and things like that. So we'll just leave the pushing to the Egyptian. I can't speak today. The Egyptians. Oh my god. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is not looking good. We have like one Malaysian troop here, or another one too. So I really hope we don't get convoy raided. We probably will. We already are. What can you do? But look at this. The comeback of all ages. Finland has come back and they have almost taken Leningrad. I sort of don't cheer for them. Sort of. This is how things are looking in Italy. We might get the civil war soon. And what is this? This might be because of the fact that the USA stayed neutral. So we have this Treaty of Montevideo led by Uruguay. Okay. I mean, I hope they join us against the Japanese, but I am not getting my hopes up. So, but here we go. The Siamese task force is here to save us. I think leaving just 10 divisions here was a little bit too ambitious, so maybe I'll just leave out a few before I go back to Siam. Thankfully they are not flooding in that many divisions here. They are still very occupied in China, as you can see. I see a lot because I have an attaché in China, so I can see everything. Yeah, I'm also about to run out of oil. I'm not building any refineries anymore either. I really need some of those. Oh, and as you can see, the building slots are an issue as well. But yeah, our guys are about to be here and we're ready to push the Japanese scum out of the mainland, and we're probably gonna get a lot of bonuses as well. Just get over here, guys. Come on. I know you can do it. I think we might be ready for push. We're getting a green arrow. Let's go. And we're also getting some cast damage. It's not best, but since we have full green air, it's gonna help us quite a bit. And as we all know, Cass is king. We're gonna be able to push this one guy out of here, hopefully, and no other naval invasions, please. They did launch one invasion here in the south, and it was pretty scary. They took a port as well, but I managed to hold them off. But this time, they managed to get a hold on in the port. So let's just hold off for a little bit until I get some org, because you can see the strength of my divisions because of the convoy rating is not the greatest. And another sound, but oh, it's here in Manila. Oh no, how many divisions? Oh, it's just 3. That's fine. Maybe they just take one tile. I don't really care all that much. I probably want more convoys. I'm sort of running out because they are raiding us. Get some MIOs as well for some better trains. I did produce armor trains. Maybe it wasn't necessary, but as you can see, I'm lacking a lot of guns because I am also producing a little bit of air. Maybe I'll just drop one of each from the planes and put them to guns. And as you can see, we are lacking a lot of resources, because we really can't trade, because if we do, they are gonna raid us to smithereens. I could block this sea zone, but I'm probably not going to. Holy shit, we still have our submarines out here. They're probably not really doing anything. Yeah, at least they're disturbing the Japanese. But maybe now we're ready for the push. Here we go. They have one tank there too, but I think we're gonna be fine if we can just push him out of this tile. Oh, Jesus has landed. Hello there. Oh, I have no idea what was going on. And I think we're gonna be fine as long as we don't get another naval invasion, which we actually did. Just push him out of there. He is encircled, I believe. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, when is to push that guy out? But we're sort of stuck here. We can't really push them. I don't know why. Because I do have the cast as well. I think they just keep on reinforcing. And also because I have no strength in our divisions. I really need to produce more guns and more everything. Oh, here we go. We're getting more Lend-Lease. We do have enough convoys. Yes, please. And now that we only have 2 tiles we need to push, I think we're gonna be good. Let's just hold on. What's going on here in Siam? I mean, nothing really. Things are the same, and I think we can push them out right now. Let's see, we just need to take the port. Nothing else really. Push with everyone you can. I mean, they do have the tank there, and we have no piercing in our division. I mean, I do have the anti-air, but our piercing it's not that great. Can we push them out? Maybe not. Just hold on for a little bit more. Maybe push that guy. We're gonna maybe encircle those guys. Maybe that's gonna work. We'll see. But I do believe this situation is contained for the time being. And we're losing more convoys. We are about to run out. That is not what I wanted to see. Oh yes, we finally pushed them out of that one tile. And now just please guys hold on, because we might have an encirclement. I mean, it's not much. It's what, 8 divisions, something like that. But you know what? Considering our situation, I think it's pretty good. So just wait for a little bit until we get some org and push. Come on guys. It's just 5 divisions? Oh, they retreated a few of them. Oh, fucking hell, those bastards. That Japanese scum, get out of my island. And we see another naval invasion. Oh, yeah, it's basically this is what this game has turned into. Just fend off Japanese invasions. But we haven't really been in a bad situation. This is like the only one that gave me a little bit of a scare. But it wasn't all that bad. Unfortunately, I had to take my troops out of Siam, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to go back anytime soon. Just because I'm lacking so much equipment. It's not really good. Oh, another one. Don't. I hope they don't take Cebu. I really don't want to see them taking Cebu. Oh no. Oh no. Can we go back to Cebu? I think we can. I think we're good. I think we're good. I do not know where that division disappeared into. I mean, they landed there and now they're just gone. They don't even have a port. I don't know where they went. But finally we managed to fend off this little naval invasion. And right now I can't really afford anything. I'm running out of oil. I'm running out of equipment. I'm running out of everything. So we are just going to consolidate and chill. Build up our stockpiles. Oh my god. Build up our stockpiles, build up our oil, and fend off any naval invasions that come our ways. And in the midst of our struggles with 0 convoys, we have finally had our savior. It is no one else but the United States of America, baby. They have just joined the Allies. I don't know how, I don't know why they did not do it through a focus, which is pretty crazy. I mean, they could have joined the Treaty of Montevideo, which they thankfully didn't, and they joined the Allies instead. And they are now in our faction, and hopefully they are gonna be saving us and sending their navy out here to the Pacific to get rid of the Japanese scum. I've been holding on like crazy for the past 1 year, and it's been a struggle. I have lost a lot of equipment, as you can see. I'm 13,000 guns short. It's not pretty. I mean, the Pacific War without the help of the Americans is a total disaster for the Allies. So now we're gonna see the American might and their huge fleet, which is hopefully gonna save us. You know, there's only one thing I can say: God bless America. So as soon as the Americans joined, the naval invasions essentially stopped. And I actually don't understand why, because the Japanese still have a lot of naval supremacy over here in all of the sea zones. You know what? I'm not complaining, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And this time I'm actually not gonna send my guys to Siam because the terrain is not favorable. I am instead gonna send them here to Indonesia and Malaysia, and maybe even Papua, because the Japanese have a little bit of a stronghold over there. And as you can see, there's a lot of jungles, a little bit of hills, but mainly the jungles, which means we're gonna be able to push in really easily. And since the Japanese navy, I don't know, I mean, some of them are over here, but we might not get raided. Wishful thinking, we'll see. But I really want to send my guys over here, because then I'm gonna be able to get some war participation as well. And since there's no dangerous naval invasions and some Mexicans around here for some reason, I'm gonna be fine. And we'll see if Murphy's Law applies, that as soon as I send my guys away from the mainland, they're gonna naval invade. We'll see. Yeah, so remember what I said about the Japanese not naval invading anymore? And as soon as I would leave the mainland, they would start naval invading again? I might have been right. And unfortunately, I think I lost one division from this army group, or this army rather. So unfortunately, we're losing some divisions, and yeah, we're still lacking a lot of guns and a lot of everything. So it's still a struggle. It's getting a little bit better, but not that quickly. So by far, the biggest mistake I made in this run is not producing enough convoys. As you can see, I currently have one convoy, one single convoy, and I have a part of my army stuck here in Borneo, and because they can't really get any supplies, they are attritioning to death, and that's why I've also lost one division here in Borneo. Yeah, so basically make enough convoys. Do not focus on these subs, because these subs can't really get anything done. Just keep producing convoys. So I'm basically just doing naval production and having as many of my dockyards on convoys as I can. And I've been requesting Lend-Lease for convoys. And basically I can't really do anything until I have convoys. I have few islands who are away from my main supply hub here in Manila. I did build a railroad over here because there was none, and this railroad should be able to supply everyone down here in the south, because otherwise they would have to use convoys here as well, I believe. So that's reducing the convoy need for a little bit, but not enough, because of course this division needs convoys, and this one does, and 3 of these do, and of course everyone in Borneo. I am going to wait until I get more convoys, and then I'm gonna get these guys out from Borneo, because otherwise the Japanese are just gonna keep raiding our convoys, and we are gonna be in a lot of trouble. Alright, so it's been a while and nothing much has really been going on. I have been just building up my stockpiles and getting my divisions fully equipped, which I have done pretty much, and I really didn't have any manpower to maybe go to Siam or even Indonesia. I mean, the AI pretty much cleared everything off, which is good for them. I still don't have a lot of convoys. I have around 100, and I don't want to lose my convoys. So the war really stalled out. It wasn't a lot of fun, just a few naval invasions here and there. And I'll show you the KD ratio, which is actually not very good. I have lost around 500,000, and meanwhile I have inflicted around 740k to the Japanese. So the KD ratio really wasn't that good. I think that's mainly because I sent my divisions back and forth, back to Siam and to Borneo, and they raided me to hell. So that was a huge mistake. But I have killed a lot of Japanese. They don't have a lot of divisions. They maybe have around 50 or 60, and most of them are in China, and maybe China is about to push them out. But something else is going on. The Americans are here, finally landed to mainland Japan, which means I am going into. I know it might be stupid, but you know what? I want to cap the Japanese. It's not the way I envision it happening, but it's how it's going to go. Unfortunately, the Americans, or really no one else, sent their navy out here. It's been mainly just me and my subs who are mainly at the bottom of the ocean, but what else can you do? At least I tried. I killed a few convoys here and there, you know, so it's not the end of the world. I mainly just built those subs to be sort of suicide subs. A few kill victories here and there, but it's fine, because I think it's the end is nigh for the Japanese, because here come the Filipinos as well joining the fights. I don't really care if they naval invade. It doesn't really matter, because you have no one in your homeland. You have no divisions. That's what Japan always does. They abandon their homeland, but at the same time, I mean, they have really overextended themselves in China, so they don't really have anyone to defend their homeland, which is sort of understandable. But from a gameplay perspective, it makes capping Japan, especially as a miner, kind of underwhelming, because the only thing I was able to do was just wait and hold off naval invasions. Like, it's not as fun as maybe playing as the Dutch or the Belgians and holding off Germany, because you can immediately make a counter push. But here, because I'm an island and I'm relying on the AI's navy, I can't really do much. But you know what? At least we're getting rewarded and we got a lot of kills. So here we go. The Filipinos are here in Japan. Let's go. Let's push out. Let's see if maybe we can get some encirclements. Here we go. And my game is lagging quite a bit because I was lacking so many convoys. My guys aren't getting there at the same time. There's an American carrier out here just chilling. Here we go, just push them out of there. Oh, they got another division there. That's fine, that's fine. Here we go. Push towards Tokyo. This is how it was always meant to be. The Filipinos pushing into Tokyo. That's the historical timeline, at least for this one. But you know what? I think the Americans were a little bit weakened. Maybe because they lost me, or maybe because they joined the war a little bit later, just a few months later, but still. There's encirclement. Bye bye. We're gonna have Filipino anime in this timeline. At the same time, the Germans actually have done very good against the Soviets. They managed to take Moscow, and they are approaching Stalingrad. Leningrad is still free, and the Soviets lost Baku at one point as well. And the Allies tried to do a few D-days, but as you can see, they're not really working. They tried to do a few here, and the Italian fronts really stalled as well. So I'm really thankful for the Americans for helping me out here. Oh, here we go. We caught him in two. Let's go. Just get everyone over here. I actually haven't joined the war against the Germans yet, which I am going to do as soon as Japan caps. Here we go, just push them out of there and over here. There's a naval invasion. Hopefully it's not in the Philippines, it's in Borneo, I believe. Oh, there's one in there's one here in San Carlos. Oh boy. I think we're gonna be able to hold on, hopefully. The French Indochina. Since when were you independent? You were supposed to be annexed by Japan, but that never happened for whatever reason. I have no idea why. It shouldn't have to do anything with me because I only liberated Malaysia and Indonesia. Oh, whatever. And there's gonna be another Japanese guy dead, and I just keep on accepting all the lend-lease because my industry is still not that good. I do have 60 factories, and of course I'm a major because I actually led a faction, but I'm still not really like a powerhouse or anything. And I'm just gonna keep snaking into victory points against Japan. Let's see the MIO. Here we go. And we are approaching Tokyo, and the Japanese, they have taken like 5 million casualties. That's a lot for them because they do not have the greatest manpower pool. Oh, there's someone in Yokohama. God damn it. Just go around maybe. I know you can do it. Come on, guys. The jungle rats from the Philippines. I'm pretty sure these 30 widths aren't really optimal for fighting anywhere else but in jungles. But you know what? I don't really care. It doesn't really matter at this point. I think Japan is already done for, and that's gonna be a huge people away from our buttocks. I don't think the jungle infantry is the greatest here, fighting anywhere else but in jungles. But you know what? That doesn't really even matter because I think Japan is about to be done, so it doesn't really matter what I do. I don't know what this guy is doing. Is he like naval invading? And that's why my guy can't really go to Tokyo. Whatever. How close are they to capping? Still a little bit ways to go. Here we go. It is 1944, and just as the year turned, we get the fall of Tokyo. The end is nigh for the Japanese. Yeah, there's like no one here. So many tiles are free for the taking. Keep on pushing. I finally have enough convoys. Thankfully, it took almost like a year to get better convoys that don't get sunk immediately. There's still... Oh my goodness, look at this. Whew. The American Navy is finally here at least. I mean, that's something. It's crazy that the Japanese army is just in a terrible state, but their navy is actually really good. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, looks like the Japanese got some divisions out, just in the nick of time. But it's crazy, we almost have more factories than they do. Well, it's mainly because they lost so many of them. And the Americans are obviously not doing anything here. There's no one here. Come on, just go and take Nagasaki and the Japanese are done. Please. Oh well. I guess I have to do everything myself. Let's see, just you push into Sendai. Oh, this is taking forever, and because it's late game, the game is pretty laggy too. Oh, well, just keep on pushing. They will cap eventually. Just go, go, go. Another set of two divisions encircled. Just get them out of there, just like that, and make the KD ratio maybe a little bit better. Yeah, it's getting up there. Not my greatest game, but you know what? For a blind playthrough, I think this is pretty good. Like, if I had to do things differently, I definitely would first of all make more convoys, make port guards as well, not just these jungle divisions because they are very expensive divisions. Maybe get a few coastal, maybe I would get a few coastal forts as well. And I might actually just stay with the Americans instead of going independent. But I wanted to go independent, so that's sort of part of the challenge, part of the fun. And you know what? If the Americans did not join, I think we would still be stuck in the Philippines. And this would take years. Maybe we would have to take down the Germans first before we could take down the Japanese. Here we go. This is another encirclement here in Aomori. Let's go. Kill that scum. Oh yeah, baby. There we go. And now it's time to go down south because the Americans are incompetent and... Oh, well, they're not completely incompetent. They almost snuck into Nagasaki. But it looks like I have to do the final touch. Just railroad there. Please. I don't want to fight this war anymore. I don't want to hear the naval invasion sound again. Oh my goodness. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a pretty easy war. I mean, there were a few challenges every here and there. Oh, here we go. There we go. And we have actually China has
China.
the most war score, and we have the second most. Wow, that is pretty impressive. So what I'm probably gonna be doing is just taking a lot of these islands. I could just for RP sakes liberate them, but I think the Philippine Islands will become a little bit bigger in this timeline. Just take that one and Iwo Jima, of course. I think I'm gonna take every single island. Let's see, Ryukyu. Yeah, sure. I think that's what I'm gonna take, yeah. Should I take Taiwan? No, I'm not gonna take Taiwan. And I'm probably going to just make a democratic Japan. So here we go. It is the end of the peace deal. So this is what happened. I took all of the Japanese Pacific holdings. So I have a lot of these islands here. They're not that valuable, but it's, you know, we're an island nation, so it doesn't hurt to have more islands. So none of these went to the Americans. And as for Japan, we basically have a South Japan, North Japan situation where we have a democratic, independent Southern Japan and the military occupation of Northern Japan by China. And also, I managed to get an Iraqi puppet. It is a supervised state, so obviously it is not that beneficial and it's gonna become independent. But you know what? I also got their resource rights and some war reps. So, you know what? Not a bad peace deal. I mean, no one else really got anything except me and China.
China. I have to have my China.
China also took Siam and Indochina. So China is looking pretty good, and of course they're gonna get to a civil war pretty soon. But speaking of wars, I mean, of course I could end the video here, but we have to eradicate fascism out of Europe. So here we go. It's time to go up against the Germans. Alright, so it's been a little bit of a slog here in Europe. We haven't been able to get much done. I did manage to cap Iran, which automatically became a Soviet puppet with Azerbaijan and Mahabhadat. I have no idea what's going on, but that's fine. Thankfully the AI did a D-Day, which secured a landing here in France, but at the same time Spain became a puppet of Hitler, and the Portuguese joined the Axis as well. Here in Italy, nothing's been going on. I tried to push through the strait, but I don't have marines, so that was a lost cause. So the goal is to push to the Swiss border here in France, and maybe then push south towards Italy or push north towards the rice commissariats. The AI seems to have a lot of divisions here, which is good because otherwise this would be a lost cause. Obviously it's not that easy because I only have one set of 24 divisions, but I can still push because these divisions are very good. They have good stats, and of course I could have changed them away from the jungle template. You know what, but I didn't feel like it. You know, I love the jungle guys. That's how they became successful, and that's why they still keep on pushing. The Germans are in shambles, it seems, and the economy of conquest has been on 100% consumer goods factory for a while, and they are on all adults serve. So it's looking good for us. It's only a matter of time, but it's still gonna be a slog. Oh, and the slog has been going on still. We finally got a good front here in Italy and got a civil war. So unfortunately the puppet is of the British, so we didn't get the puppet, but I mean the British did navally invade Rome, but it took a while. It took way longer than it usually does, and we sort of stalled out here in France, and the Germans made a counterattack. Maybe it was Steiner. And we couldn't really push into Spain either, so the AI is sort of not helping me too much. I just like keep shifting from one front to another. One time I tried to push north, we got a little bit of a push, then it sold out, and then I switched down to the south. And as soon as I switched away from one front, the AI just collapsed there, and it just kept happening and happening. Then I switched up to the Italian front when the British landed here, and we finally got something going on when we got the civil war. So slowly things are getting better, but the Soviets are really struggling. I mean, they lost Leningrad, but they got it back, and its name is still Ludendorff. I don't think Mr. Stalin would allow that. I don't think he would be like, hey, they renamed it Ludendorff, so why don't we just name it, keep the name. The same thing for Stalingrad. It's gonna be called Hindenburg. But thankfully they didn't get too close to capping. I mean, the AI never does collab governments, otherwise we would be screwed. But basically every single front line is going super slowly, but at least it's moving. We're gonna get a nice little encirclement over here in Pescara, and there we go. Some dead Italian troops. Beautiful. And next up, I'm gonna just be pushing north from here, maybe towards Austria and cap this Italian Republic. Next up, I'm gonna be pushing north, maybe towards Austria and cap Italian Social Republic. We'll see. Or maybe I will go and cap Spain. I don't know. I really don't feel like pushing through the mountains though. Or just go here and push north towards the Benelux. We'll see. It's very slow, and unfortunately my air force has been shredded. It's not very good, as you can see. But at least the AI is helping a little bit. So I love Rosa 56. It's probably my favorite mod. At least it's up there. I play it a lot when I want the quote-unquote vanilla experience or World War II experience. But sometimes, even though you're playing on historical, something very weird happens. So I just got the notification that People's Republic of this Aotearoa declared war on New Zealand. So New Zealand all of a sudden got a communist civil war with this Marxist guy, and they joined the Axis. I have no idea what they did in their focus tree. There's like nothing that gives them communist support. I have no idea. I have no idea what they just did. Like seriously. Oh, well, what? It's just one of those things, eh? One of those things. So I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that we managed to push into Iberia, a few landings here and there. Maybe they will cap soon enough. Also a landing here in the north. The Dutch are about to be liberated. The Italian front sort of stalled out, not much going on. Nothing really, but remember what I said about the Republic of Aotearoa? So they basically just joined the Axis and left the Axis. And as soon as they left the Axis, the Germans declared war on them. And I was sort of scared that they are going to join the Comintern. Oh. Thankfully they didn't, but unfortunately they joined the Republic of China Congress, and now I am at war with China. China. And the Soviets are too. The Soviets managed to push a little bit into Germany, but now they have so many fronts, because now they have a front with China as well. Like I said, how I wanted to liberate Asia from colonialism, and how China sort of colonialized Indochina and Siam. Well, I guess I will liberate them as well. But first things first, we have to get rid of the Axis. It's a slow burn. It might take until 1946, but we're gonna get it done. Oh my goodness, it's almost done finally. You know what? The biggest thanks for that goes to the Soviet Union. They really came through. You saw how far out they were. Like, it was somewhere around here, maybe. They were almost to Sverdlovsk, and they really came through. They pushed, and now they are pretty much next to Danzig. For the Western powers, I mean, it was really slow and it was a slog. I managed to help here in Spain, but up here in the north there's just so many divisions. We do have green air, thankfully, but I think the German divisions are just way better in general, and there are more of them. And I haven't been able to push much, but it's about to be over. Even though it looks like the Americans are pretty close to Berlin, I think the Soviets are gonna get there first, to be honest. So we're gonna be going for this. So we are going to have a peace conference here in Europe, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what I take, and after that we're going to China.
Let's say
China. And as you can see, Xinjiang is actually pushing to the Soviets, but Soviets don't care. They prioritize Germany as they should, as do we. and then we'll just go and take out China. Oh yes, it's almost over. I'm so tired. This has been taking for ages. We were stuck for so long in the Benelux, and as you can see, well, here you can see, they have 116 divisions here in the Benelux. Holy, and I just tried to push because I thought it would be easy. I ended up switching to Grand Battle Plan actually because I couldn't get anything done with the asymmetrical warfare. So it's not really good for pushing, it's mainly good for defense. Speaking of asymmetrical, I mean, Grand Battle Plan is good for, well, battle planning, and that's what I like to do. So do remember to switch off from asymmetrical warfare if you're going in for something else than fighting in your home country or in your core territory. Come on, we just need the one last push. Just finish it off already. Like, how are they still holding? It's really mind-boggling, to be honest. Just one more push, baby. Just take out Vienna. I know you can do it. Well, you sorta can't. Oh, it's finally over. Yes. Yes. Just as the year turned to 1946, I believe, Germany has capped. We do not have a lot of war score, so we can't really take much. I do want to take Macau. I'd love that. Sure, from Portugal. And maybe take Timor as well. Is there anything else? Let's take a few islands. We'll take that one, Kerguelen. Once again, the island nation of the Philippines grows stronger. I'm just gonna leave Europe to the big dogs. There's not much for me to do. Maybe take... Oh, they still have one battleship left. Let's take some of the navy, maybe. I don't know. I don't really need it, but whatever. Let's see what Europe looks like after World War II in this timeline. Any different? And this is what Europe looks like. We have pretty standard Cold War situation with East Germany, West Germany. Spain is Spain, as usual. Oh, I don't know why they joined the Axis, but it happened. Now we still have to take out China.
China. I've been saying China. China. China.
And liberate the Asian people from oppression. Taking out China shouldn't take that long. I mean, it looks like the Americans already landed in China. Just go there and get rid of them. Take the Air Force as well. We really want to be plugging into them. Well, the Chinese war is almost over. And so is this run. Oh, there it is. Wow. There it is. Wow. The war is over. Oh, that was crazy. Nothing really remarkable happened. The Japanese actually joined the Allies, and the Soviets mainly pushed in the north, and everywhere else the Allies pushed. And because we wanted to free Asia from colonialism, we gotta liberate some countries. The only issue is we don't have a lot of war score. Maybe we can liberate Thailand, hopefully. Beautiful. Liberated from communist rule. And let's do it to Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Except we can't. Goddamn Soviet scum wanna spread communism to Southeast Asia. Historical timeline, eh? Oh, we couldn't liberate Tibet. No. They deserve to be liberated. But unfortunately, they're gonna remain under control of the Chinese. And here is end of the peace deal. Oh, what a mess. Woo. Look at this. Wow. The Soviet China territory. Wow. Under Yang Shihan. The Soviets got a chunky puppet. And there's a small, what? Democratic? But socialist Republic of China. Fragmented into few parts. What ugly borders. And British China as well, who are in the Allies. The Japanese got their homeland back in its entirety. Good for them. And the Americans wanted their own China. American China, there it is. But we managed to we liberated a fascist Thailand. Wow. There's Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam under Ho Chi Minh, who doesn't look very happy. But Southeast Asia is liberated and independent, from Indonesia to Malaysia to the Philippines, all the way to Thailand and other countries as well. India, maybe, and Tibet. Wow, Tibet became independent. Wow. So did we succeed? Yes. We survived against the Japanese onslaught. We managed to become independent very quickly, and despite that we still held on. We helped out in Europe, we helped out in China.
Let me ask you about China.
China. I go to China. China.
I didn't plan to go into war against the Chinese, but I did. And how was this run? How would I rate it? To be honest, the path isn't that great. It's pretty short. It is actually really powerful in terms of bonuses, but when it comes down to the country itself, not a lot of manpower, not a lot of factories, in the beginning at least. It's a challenge. And like I said, it's not the same kind of fun challenge as playing with the Dutch or the Belgians or maybe even Poland, which is like building up this defensive wall against a bigger opponent like the Germans, for instance. This was a lot of micromanaging against naval invasions, coming all the way from everywhere, having issues with lacking convoys and things like that. And you could have played this way better. Like I said, this was a blind playthrough, but despite that, I think I did pretty well. But it's probably not the best path for the Philippines. Speaking of, we have other paths for the Philippines, and one really piqued my eyes. It was the Carlist path, where we can return to the Spanish rule. This looks like a fun path, and I'd really like to try it out. You get a lot of opportunities to expand, and of course, it's a monarchist path. That's awesome. With a Habsburg Bourbon. Wow, look at this. Wow, I'm really intrigued by this path, but I will only make a video out of it if you really want to. Since this is a new channel, let's set a goal. If this video gets 10 likes, I will be sure to return to the Philippines and do the Spanish path. Sorry Manuel, you are not Spanish enough. But in this run, Asia is free, well, almost free from colonialism. We have spread democracy everywhere. We have democratic Indonesia and Malaysia and Japan and some parts of China. And this is looking like a really interesting Cold War scenario, where the Soviets are way stronger than in OTL. But this is the end of the video. I thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my struggles. And I hope you give this country a try. The Philippines is a fun country to begin with. It's a very interesting position because it is a struggle to survive against Japan. But at the same time, there's a lot of fun bonuses, and you get to fight against fascism. Who doesn't like that? Well, maybe the fascists themselves. But until next time, I will see you again.
Let's say China.